August 2nd, 216 BCE. The scorching Italian sun beats down on the dusty plains near Cannae. 86,000 Roman legionaries march in perfect formation, their bronze armor gleaming, their shields locked in disciplined rows. This is the largest army Rome has ever fielded. 8 full legions plus allies, commanded by 2 consuls hungry for glory. Across the battlefield, Hannibal waits with 50,000 Carthaginians, Gauls, and Spanish mercenaries. The Romans are confident. They outnumber the enemy nearly 2 to 1. Today they believe the war ends. But let's change one thing. Circling silently at 60,000 feet above the ancient battlefield is something that shouldn't exist for another 2,200 years. An RQ-4 Global Hawk reconnaissance drone, bristling with sensors that can read a license plate from 17 miles away. So what happens when the most advanced intelligence-gathering aircraft on Earth oversees one of history's most legendary tactical disasters? This isn't your grandfather's paper airplane. The Global Hawk is a technological marvel that makes ancient warfare look like children playing with sticks. Picture an aircraft with a 130-foot wingspan cruising at altitudes where the air is so thin you die in seconds without pressurization. It can stay airborne for over 32 hours straight, watching, recording, analyzing everything below with computer precision. We're talking about synthetic aperture radar that penetrates weather and darkness, electro-optical cameras with zoom capabilities that would make a telescope jealous, and infrared sensors that detect body heat from altitudes where it's invisible to the naked eye. The drone processes intelligence in real time, beaming data instantly to commanders anywhere on the planet. To Romans who think the gods control lightning, this flying eye would be absolutely incomprehensible. But even gods need context, so let's examine what exactly we've dropped into the ancient world. The year 216 BCE marks the climax of the Second Punic War. Hannibal has been terrorizing Italy for 2 years, crushing Roman armies and turning their allies against them. The Romans are desperate. They've elected 2 consuls, Paulus and Varro, and given them strict orders. Find Hannibal, destroy him, end this nightmare. The consuls have assembled the most massive Roman force in history. 86,000 men, including the cream of Roman society, citizens who own property and can afford their own equipment. These aren't conscripts. They're the backbone of the Republic. Hannibal knows this is his moment. He's chosen his ground carefully on the plains near the ancient city of Cannae. The Alpheus River curves around the battlefield, limiting Roman maneuverability. Hot southern winds will blow dust into Roman eyes when battle begins. Most importantly, the narrow field will force the Romans to pack their formations deeper than usual, playing directly into Hannibal's tactical masterpiece. The Carthaginian general has spent months preparing for this confrontation. His army is smaller but more experienced. These are veterans who've marched across the Alps, survived winter in the mountains, and conquered half of Italy. They trust their commander completely. At dawn, 60,000 feet above the ancient world, the Global Hawk's sensors activate. Its synthetic aperture radar immediately maps the entire battlefield in stunning detail. Every soldier, every horse, every piece of equipment appears on high-resolution displays. The drone's computer brain processes formation densities, movement patterns, and tactical positioning in microseconds. Within minutes, it has identified command structures, supply trains, and weak points in both armies. Intelligence that would take ancient scouts days to gather is compiled instantly. The Romans begin their advance in traditional fashion. Heavy infantry in the center, cavalry on the wings, allies supporting the flanks. From ground level, it looks imposing. 86,000 men moving as one, bronze gleaming in the morning sun, the earth trembling under their march. But from the global hawk's perspective, the Roman formation reveals fatal flaws immediately. They're packed too densely in the center, creating a massive vulnerability. Their cavalry is outnumbered and poorly positioned. Most critically, they're walking directly into Hannibal's trap. The Carthaginian formation looks bizarre from above. Hannibal has arranged his weakest troops, Gallic and Spanish infantry, in the center in a convex curve that bulges toward the Romans. His strongest fighters, African veterans, wait on the flanks slightly behind the center. From the drone's thermal imaging, their discipline is obvious. These men aren't moving randomly. Every position is calculated. The Global Hawk's computer analysis would flag this immediately as a classic double envelopment setup. But in 216 BCE, the Romans have no concept of such advanced tactical analysis. As the morning sun climbs higher, the Global Hawk's sensors detect something the Roman commanders on the ground cannot see. Hannibal's cavalry, led by his brother-in-law Hasdrubal, is moving into position behind low hills on the Carthaginian left flank. The drone's infrared imaging reveals nearly 10,000 mounted warriors, invisible to Roman scouts but crystal clear to technology that can track heat signatures through camouflage. This is intelligence worth its weight in gold, but there's no way to transmit it to the Romans below. The Global Hawk might as well be watching from another dimension. The battle begins with a thunderous clash as 136,000 warriors collide on the dusty plain. From 60,000 feet, it looks like two massive organisms flowing into each other. The Global Hawk's cameras capture every moment in ultra-high definition as Roman legionaries smash into Hannibal's center line. The Gauls and Spanish fighters give ground exactly as planned, their convex formation slowly bending backward under Roman pressure. To the Romans, this looks like victory. They're pushing the enemy back, gaining ground, pressing their numerical advantage. But the drone's computer analysis tells a different story. The Carthaginian center isn't breaking. It's stretching like a rubber band. Hannibal's African veterans on the flanks haven't moved an inch. They're waiting, disciplined, patient. The Global Hawk's movement tracking algorithms would scream warnings about an impending envelopment, but the technology to interpret this data won't exist for over 2 millennia. On the Roman right wing, disaster strikes first. Hasdrubal's heavy cavalry crashes into the Roman horsemen with devastating effect. The Global Hawk's sensors detect the exact moment when Roman cavalry cohesion collapses. Thermal imaging shows scattered heat signatures fleeing the battlefield as surviving Roman cavalry breaks and runs. Within minutes, Hasdrubal has eliminated the entire Roman right wing and begins wheeling his victorious cavalry behind the Roman lines. The drone captures something no human eye could see from ground level. The entire battle is unfolding exactly as Hannibal planned. The Roman infantry, drunk on their apparent success in the center, pushes deeper into the Carthaginian formation. They're being funneled into a killing zone, compressed tighter and tighter as the enemy flanks begin to close. From above, It looks like watching a mousetrap slowly spring shut. Consul Paulus, commanding the Roman left wing, tries desperately to rally his cavalry against Numidian light horse, but the Global Hawk's tracking systems show his forces are already outmaneuvered. The Numidians dance around the heavier Roman cavalry, pelting them with javelins, refusing close combat. It's a masterclass in mobile warfare that the drone records in perfect detail. But the tactical lessons are lost on an ancient world that fights with bronze and leather. As the sun sets on the bloodiest day in Roman history, 70,000 legionaries lie dead in the dust, while Hannibal claims his greatest victory. The Global Hawk captured every brutal moment in crystal clarity, recording tactical genius that military academies still study today. But here's the ultimate irony. All that advanced intelligence, all that perfect battlefield awareness, meant absolutely nothing without someone who could use it. Technology is only as powerful as the minds that wield it. So what do you think? Could perfect information have saved Rome's greatest army? And if you want to see what happens when ancient warriors face truly impossible odds, check out this video about Vikings versus a modern aircraft carrier. Thanks for watching.